Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another lesson. I say lesson, but disclaimer I'm not a teacher, not certified, or have any degrees. But I did want to be a history teacher when I was a teenager, so I do kind of feel like I'm teaching people stuff.
Yeah,
But remember, this is just a starting point for you to do your own research.
for sure.
Do not take what we said as evidence. Anyways,
Just for collateral.
anyways, if you're a fan of the paranormal and found us here first, head over to our flagship show, The Paranormal Lovers. There are almost 100 episodes
Getting close.
covering everything from hauntings to UFOs and government conspiracies. If you would like some merch, head over to theparanormallovers.threadless.com to get in on the last 2 days of our Labor Day sale. Until September 10th, our classic tees are $12.50 and everything else is up to 40% off.
Wow.
If you would like to become a regular supporter of the pod, we have a Patreon. There is one $5 tier, The Lonely Hearts, where you get early access to unedited videos of both of our shows as well as stickers.
Yeah.
This is a monthly sticker deal where you get one random sticker from our shop and one handmade sticker made by that guy. That guy over there.
I love making the stickers.
And if you have any topic requests for either show, a personal story of true crime, the paranormal, or a historical event,
Let us
you
know.
would like read on a future episode, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. Okay. I put words in there that didn't make any sense. Now, I might get shit for this episode. I don't really care. It is important to show how something like white supremacy is ingrained itself in all communities. Okay.
Right.
Now, you know who Rosa Parks is.
Mm-hmm.
They said, ma'am, you need to move. She said, nah.
Right.
If you haven't, one, I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck? And two, Rosa Parks was a civil rights activist who is best known for breaking a Jim Crow law in a big way. In 1955, she refused to give her seat to a white person on a crowded bus. It is said that she was simply tired and did not want to give it up. But there is a much deeper reason for her actions. 9 months earlier, on March 2nd, 1955, Claudette Colvin, born Austin, was arrested for refusing to give her seat to a white woman. The reason Claudette's arrest was not used by the black community in their fight boils down to colorism. Colorism is a subset of racism in which lighter enslaved people were treated better than their darker counterparts, and this has led to an imbalance of power within the community. Darker skin was looked down upon for a long time, and unfortunately, love for darker skin tones is still not where it needs to be. If it was, there would not still be products to lighten your skin tone.
Right.
So, what does that have to do with Claudette and Rosa? Well, Rosa was an older, light skinned woman, while Claudette was a dark skinned teenage mother. It is well known within the community that Claudette would not be able to garner sympathy from the white community due to those two factors. So they looked to repeat the event, but with someone who could get that sympathy. That is where Rosa comes in. Her refusal was a staged event that helped spark the Montgomery bus boycott.
Hmm.
But who is Claudette? Born Claudette Austin. She was born on September 5th, 1939. So happy belated birthday, Miss Claudette.
Happy birthday.
In Montgomery, Alabama. So it was yesterday. Hang on. I have to do the math on how old she is if she's still alive because I didn't actually find anything that said she was still alive or not, but she should be. Mine is
Claudette Colvin.
1939. Yep. She 85. Is she still alive? She just turned 85 yesterday. So happy birthday,
Nice.
Miss Claudette.
Hey, Claudette, if you're listening.
Um, she was born in Montgomery, Alabama. Her parents were Mary Jane Gadsden and C.P. Austin. Her father would abandon his family, leaving her mother unable to care for her children. Did we just talk about that last time with the Henrietta? Like her mama died or ran off or something, left her
Maybe.
daddy with a whole bunch of children. Claudette and her sister Delphine went to live with their aunt and Mary and uncle Mary Ann and QB Colvin, where they took their last name. They first lived in Pine Level in Montgomery County until Claudette was 8, and the family moved to King Hill, a poor black neighborhood in Montgomery. On September 3rd, 1952, Delphine died of polio. This was 2 days before Claudette's 13th birthday and shortly before she began attending Booker T. Washington High School. Claudette was a great student and an active member of the NAACP Youth Council, but her grief over the loss of her sister made it hard for her to connect with her classmates. Instead, she would end up getting closer to her mentor in the youth council, Rosa Parks. Due to segregation, the location of the high school, and the fact that Claudette's family could not afford a vehicle, she would have to use the city bus to get to and from school. Again, this was a time where Jim Crow laws were the law of the land, and this is Alabama. The quote unquote rule was, quote, if the bus became so crowded that all the white seats in front of the bus were filled until white people were standing, any African Americans were supposed to get up from nearby seats to make room for whites, move further to the back, and stand in the aisle if there were no free seats in that section. End quote. Just gotta like breathe through it for a minute.
Yeah.
I told you it's only been like really recently that it's really sunk in that like my grandmother dealt with this.
Yep.
Like I knew my grandmother. I spent time with my grandmother. She only died like 9 years ago.
Whenever my dad, or well, my grandfather owned or he didn't own it, but he ran a movie theater in Cosby, Tennessee. He, they still had the, white and black
Seats.
seats. So my dad remembers, like, my dad would actually sit in the black seats because he thought they were, I don't know, a better view or more comfortable or something.
Like I just want to go sit with my friends over there.
So like he would always sit in the black section.
I definitely see your dad being like, I'm like, what are you doing over here? He's like, I'm sitting with my friends. This was the case on March 2nd, 1955, when Claudette found herself seated in the quote unquote black section, but close to the emergency exit. So I'm thinking she was like middle of the bus.
Right.
A white woman came on the bus but was left standing as there were no open seats. The bus driver, Robert W. Clear, told Claudette and 3 others to move to the back. The 3 women moved, but Claudette remained seated. Then a pregnant black woman came on the bus and took one of the open seats next to Claudette. The driver noticed this and told them to move again. Ruth Hamilton, the pregnant woman, stated she had paid her fare and she was not going to move. This moved Claudette to also refuse to give her seat up. This led to the driver calling the police to force the women to move.
What the hell?
When they arrived, they had a black man move so that the pregnant woman could have a seat in the back, but Claudette again refused to move. So officers Thomas J. Ward and Paul Headley arrested her. Claudette would later state, quote, my mother told me to be quiet about what I did. She told me, Rosa, be the one. White people aren't going to bother Rosa. They like her, end quote.
Hmm.
So, yeah. She got arrested because she was like, I just want to sit here, bitch. I'm also pregnant.
Right.
And I'm tired. This is a part of the civil rights movement that the black community kind of wants to erase. The fact that they did try to cater to the white people using the quote unquote most appealing protesters as the face of the movement. And I
Right.
don't necessarily blame them for that, but like you can't deny that that's what's happened and
Yeah.
that that's what's caused this issue with people not loving their darker skin because they've been treated like shit for having darker skin.
Right.
I saw this lady at the party at the school yesterday. She was so dark. I was like, she got to be from Africa. She's so beautiful. Like, she was so dark. And I'm just like, I see the night in her skin.
Yeah.
How can anybody hate that?
Right.
But it was the history of other women that looked like her that kept Claudette in her seat. It was the history in the making that was taking place every day. Quote, we couldn't try on clothes. You had to take a brown paper bag and draw a diagram of your foot and take it to the store. End quote.
Hmm.
That gives me goosebumps and not in a good way. Kind of makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
A classmate of Claudette's who also used that bus remembers her screaming about how she had constitutional rights to sit anywhere on the bus. What she could not have known was how Claudette truly felt in that moment. Quote, history kept me stuck to my seat. I felt as if Harriet Tubman pushing down. I felt the hand of Harriet Tubman pushing down on one shoulder and Sojourn Truth pushing down on the other. End quote. More goosebumps. But once Claudette was in the cop car, a new fear came to her mind. It was not uncommon for white police officers to sexually assault black girls that they arrested. One of the officers even went so far as to sitting in the back of the car with her, and both of them would make sexual remarks about her body all the way to the jail.
Mm.
What did I tell you this morning? Yesterday? Men hate us. Claudette's minister came to bail her out, and a group of civil rights leaders, including Martin Luther King Jr., had a meeting with the police commissioner to discuss her arrest. Claudette would be charged with disturbing the peace, violating segregation laws, and battering and assaulting a police officer. Oh, excuse me. She was convicted on all charges and given indefinite probation, but the disturbing the peace and segregation charges would be dropped on appeal. This was not the first or last time Claudette had a moment of activism. Her passion came from the case of Jeremiah Reeves. Reeves was a classmate of Claudette's who had been having a sexual relationship with a white woman. When they were found out, the woman claimed rape and Reeves was executed, which was also quite a common thing to happen back in the day.
Right.
It's like women would sleep with the men and then, oh no, he raped me. I wouldn't do that. Like,
Yeah,
bitch,
when they got caught.
just admit that you wanted to ride the big black cock and not get these men murdered, please.
Right.
What did I say during the Wilmington massacre? Like, it's always a white woman. It's always a damn white woman.
Yeah.
So miss me with the white woman tears, bitch. There's this one bitch. Look, I gotta go on a tangent. I ain't done a tangent at all. We got time. I was on TikTok the other day and this woman was like, I'm so tired of seeing these black women doing these videos. This is racism. And I'm sitting there like, bitch, Emmett Till, the Wilmington Massacre, Oscarville, Tulsa, Rosewood. There's a reason why black women are making videos about you damn white women. And yeah, you need to fucking suck it up and deal with it.
Yep.
Because, and then you want to get in like closer history. How about the bitch calling the cops on people for having a barbecue in the park? Or the bitch that tried to take somebody's mail because she was being nosy and noticed a lot of packages being delivered to their house. Miss me with the white woman tears. Miss me.
Yeah.
From the bus boycott came the case of Browder versus Gale. This case, which was filed by attorney Fred Gay, also Claudette's attorney for her case, challenged the state segregation laws as unconstitutional. It was filed on behalf of Aurelia Browder, Susie McDonald, Jeanette Reese, Mary Louise Smith, and Claudette. There was another woman, but she ended up like, I think it may have been Jeanette ended up leaving because like people were giving her crap for filing the lawsuit.
Right.
On June 5th, 1956, the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Alabama ruled that the laws were in fact unconstitutional. This decision was appealed to the Supreme Court, who affirmed the decision. They were asked to reconsider and denied the request. Like, white people really just can't let it go. Like the Supreme Court's like, no, you can't tell black people where to sit on the bus. It's not cool. And they're like, please, pretty please, pretty please with a cherry on top. Like, they were asked to reconsider and denied that request. On December 20th, 1956, the court ordered the state of Alabama to end their bus segregation laws.
Nice.
1956, y'all. Most of our parents were born in that decade.
Yep.
This was not that long ago.
No.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, your father was born in 1956.
Yeah. Pretty sure he is.
Because he's like a year older than your mom. Your mom was 57. Your mom's a year older than my mom, 58. So, yeah.
Right.
After her involvement in the court case, Claudette was branded a troublemaker within her own community. In 1958, Claudette and her young son Raymond left Montgomery for New York City to live with her older sister Velma. She gave birth to her second son Randy in 1960, and in 1969, she began working at a nursing home where she worked for 35 years before retiring, and she retired in 2004. So it was only 20 years ago that she retired.
Yeah.
This is a woman who was arrested for breaking a segregation law on a bus. Something people want to scream, oh, it was hundreds of years ago. This woman would be 85 if she's still alive.
Right.
It was not hundreds of years ago. This is our history that is still happening today.
For sure.
Sadly, Claudette's oldest son Raymond passed away at the age of 37 from a heart attack. When I tell you I read that sentence and it literally made my heart drop because I was like, I'm 37.
Yeah.
And I have a bad heart.
Right.
So that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Her son Randy, however, is still alive and well, working and living in Atlanta. While Rosa Parks went on to be the face of this particular movement, Claudette was not upset about it. Quote, I feel very, very proud of what I did. I do feel like what I did was the spark and it caught on. I'm not disappointed. Let the people know Rosa Parks is the right person for the boycott, but also let them know that the attorney took 4 other women to the Supreme Court to challenge the law that led to the end of segregation. End quote. More goosebumps. Damn.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm not trying to erase the impact that Rosa had on the civil rights movement and history. But if it had not been for Claudette, Rosa would not have had a reason to do what she did. She would not have done what she did. We would not know her name without Claudette.
Yep.
Recognizing what Rosa Parks did, but ignoring what Claudette did is only telling half the story. And we got to stop.
Yeah.
Claudette's story was written in Claudette Colvin, Twice Towards Justice, which is a young adults book. The Little Known Heroes, Claudette Colvin, which is a children's picture book. In 2022, a biopic about Claudette titled Spark was announced, and I don't know if they've started filming that or not.
Right.
In 2021, Claudette's record was expunged. And as far as I can tell, she is still alive. I didn't see a death date. I didn't find an obituary. I'm not sure where, but I hope she's having a good life, and I hope more people will learn about her story.
For sure.
Because again, without Claudette, there would have been no Rosa.
What in what's that show that Patty watches? It's got history. The professor something.
The professor something. It's got history.
Yep.
You're gonna have to be more specific. She watches a lot of shows.
The one where they got the time traveling machine. It's on PBS.
I know what you're talking about. Oh, is it Xavier Riddle in the Secret Museum?
That's it. I'm pretty sure they told the Claudette story on there.
They may have. I don't really remember, but
they told her and Rosa Parks.
Yeah, if you guys are if you have kids and you don't have the PBS Kids app, it's free. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You can watch all the shows on PBS Kids on it. What are you doing?
And for the most part, Xavier Riddle tries to get stuff
I love
pretty
that
right.
show so much.
Mhm.
Like, it is hands down. I've learned so much about people from that show. And it's like, it's cute. I don't know. It's a great show. You guys need to watch it. go watch everything on PBS Kids, like Wild Kratts, Lila in the Loop,
Mm-hmm.
Alma's Way, all of it. So, thanks for joining us for another week's, folks. I hope you found this episode enlightening.
For sure.
Go give us a like, follow, and all that jazz and all those places. Go get you some merch. Sign up for Patreon for 2 stickers for $5 a month.
Help us get to that movie night.
Get that movie night. And we will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.